Hello everyone, happy Thursday. Today we're going to talk about trapezoids. A trapezoid is a plane figure with one pair of parallel sides called bases. So our parallel sides are lines that never meet and they run across from each other. Our first one is a right triangle because it has a right 90-degree angle, which is here, and our trapezoid. And our second trapezoid is an isosceles trapezoid. So our formula for a trapezoid is A equals half of height times base 1 plus base 2. We will have a quiz next Friday. Make sure you have all your formulas written down. You do not need to memorize them, but make sure you have them written down and you know which formula to use for which polygon. So where A represents area, H represents the height, and B1 and B2 represent the bases, which are parallel. The bases and the height are always perpendicular. So let's practice labeling our bases 1 and our base 2 and our height. Here's our height, base 1, base 2. This one's tricky, it's on its side. So if we would flip the whole image, this would be our height, and base 1, base 2. It really doesn't make a difference which one is base 1 and which is base 2. Usually base 1 I do the smaller one, base 2 I do the larger one. I'm going to do that for this one as well. The parallel line is right across. This is my height, base 1, base 2. All right, our first problem we have, we are going to write our formula. Area equals half of height times base 1 plus base 2. So we're going to fill in our numbers after we label them. So here, let's make my perpendicular line and find my parallel line across. So I have my height, base 1, base 2. So my height is 4, base 1 plus base 2. So I'm going to do what's in parentheses, what are in parentheses first. So A equals 1/2 4 times 8. 8 times 4 is 32. Times that by half or divided by 2. 32 divided by 2 gives you 16. Centimeters squared. All right, and for number 2, same thing. I'm going to actually write our formula up here so I have more room. Area equals 1/2 of height times base 1 plus base 2. So then I'm going to highlight my bases and my perpendicular line. It's my height, base 1, base 2. So area equals 1/2 the height, and then adding the bases, 4 plus 7. So I have 11 times 5, so 1/2, equals area. 5 times 11 is 55. Times that by half. 55 times a half, or 55 divided by 2, gives me 27.5 feet squared. Number 3, area equals a half times height times B1 plus B2. The more you write the formula, the more you'll know it. So this one has 4 numbers, trying to trick us. So let's look for my perpendicular line. Okay. So this must be my height. So then my bases are parallel. So base 1, base 2. Remember, it doesn't matter which one was base 1 and which one is base 2. So area equals 1/2 of height, which is 6. 8 plus 6. So this gives me 14 inside the parentheses. If you want to, remember in multiplication, you can multiply in any order. So if I wanted to multiply the 6 times the half first, that is okay. So I have 6 divided by 2, gives me 3. Times by the 14, it gives me 42 centimeters squared. All right, for our next one, that also has a whole bunch of extra numbers. All right, so we're going to find our perpendicular line. Then our bases are across from each other. This is base 2, base 1, and my height. I'm going to write it over here. Oops. Area equals 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. So area equals 1/2. My height is 4. My base is 7 and 10. This gives me 17 times 4 times 1/2. 4 times 1/2 gives me 2 times 17 gives me 34 inches squared. Make sure we are including our units. All right, we have 2 word problems. Make sure you're not copying these exact word problems in your independent practice, because I do change the numbers. The side of a goal in soccer is the shape of a right trapezoid. The dimensions are shown below. What is the area of the net needed for both sides of the goal? All right, so first thing is first, we need to find out the formula we're using. Area is 1/2 of height times base 1 plus base 2. All right, our height, so remember perpendicular line. Okay, this must be our height. This is our base. So our bases are parallel. So we have base 1 up here. So our height is 9. Base 1 is 5, plus base 2 is 11. This gives us 16 times 9 times 1/2. We can do 1/2 times 9. Oops. Gives me 4.5 times 16. And that gives me area equals 72. And we're using feet squared. So now it's saying on both sides. So we need to check this. This is just for one side, the area of one side of our soccer net. So we're needing to times it by 2. 72 times 2 gives us 144 feet squared for the entire soccer net, so on both sides. Our next problem, Quinn is building a table. The top is an isosceles trapezoid with bases that are 1.5 meters and 3 meters and a height of 1 meter. What is the area of the tabletop? So first off, we're talking about trapezoid, so area equals 1/2 height times base 1 plus base 2. So now I know I have my bases. So I have base 1, 1.5, base 2 equals 3, and my height equals 1. So now I can easily plug in for my formula. So area equals 1/2 height, which is 1, base 1, 1.5, plus base 2, which is 3. And then I'm going to add first. So I have 4.5 times 1 times 1/2 equals area. So 4.5 times 1 is just 4.5. So I'm going to take 4.5 times 1/2, and that gives me 2.25, and we are in meters, so meters squared is my area. All right, if you have any questions for today, please send me an email or a message, and come to office hours from 1 to 2 today, and then join us for our chit chat and games from 2 to 2:30. See you guys later. Bye.